Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. Now this is a bit of a special treat. This is video footage that is not taken from one of my games, but this is video footage that was supplied by one of the people that has been in many of these Teamfight Tactics videos, that being JDP El Grillo. This is taken from a ranked game. He was very close to Masters rank at the time that this was done. High Diamond 1, or right around it, I believe it was High Diamond 1 at the time. And in this game, we're going to be looking at a team comp that I do not have any footage on, that I am not used to playing. And that is a Dragonmancer team comp that plays through Lee Sin. So Dragonmancer comps can play through a number of different champions. Most popularly in this set, you've seen people playing through Karma or Kaisa. It's pretty rare to see people playing through Lee Sin, but it is playable. It is something that you can do. And we're going to see how Grillo manages to put it together in this particular game. So I actually have not watched this video before. Hopefully I will not do, hopefully my commentary will not be too off as a result of that. But as I said, I haven't sat down and watched this video. I've just seen kind of how it ends. So we're going to watch along. It's going to be a bit of a learning experience for me as well. And we're going to see how he puts this Dragonmancer board together. Alright, so Lee Sin is a unit who is, I wouldn't say that this has been kind of a meta build, but it is a build I have seen people running in the past. It's a build that basically relies on, well, you know, making him the Dragonmancer hero, stacking up a lot of ability power on him, and then just relying on his kicks to kill people throughout the game. Let's see what Grillo takes here. Celestial Blessing, always a good choice. That makes sense. And he actually ended up getting the 2-item start, which means he has more gold than you normally would in this game. But he does only have the 2 items, and he does not have much synergy between his 2 items. He has a belt and a cloak. Of course, they make a Zephyr, but you don't really want to make a Zephyr out of them in the early game. So he just has Mirage Warrior. He doesn't really have a whole lot right now, but he does have a fair bit of money. He's still level 4 with 10 gold in the bank, which is a good start. I'm afraid I didn't catch what the Mirage trait was. Again, I didn't play in this game, so I don't remember, but I see Grillo's doing a little bit of scouting. He did give me a couple notes in this game, and he did mention that there were a couple points in time where he had to get up and go away from keyboard, so there are some points in time where he is not doing a lot of scouting of the other teams. This is slightly unfortunate. He's ran into the person who took, looked like he took, this is the 2-2s, where you get 2 different 2-star units at the start of the game. That means that whoever takes this as their augment always gets out to a strong start, or I guess they can also sell the board for gold. I have seen some people do that as well, but if you hit this board, you're probably going to lose if you hit this board on the very first round, so that's not exactly shocking. Grillo's board looks solid, but it's not amazing at this stage of the game. So as of this point in time, he still has not committed to a Dragonmancer team comp, and he has not actually found Lee Sin, who is going to be the featured unit in this video. Still has not found a Lee Sin. I actually thought, again, I haven't watched this video, I assumed that he had found an early Lee Sin and then looked to itemize around Lee Sin, but apparently no, he did not get the early Lee Sin. Grillo was doing what we often call in our group games, random nonsense up there on the front line. He probably should pull the Wukong and put in the Nasus right now for Guardian trait. That would probably make a little bit more sense. May not have spotted that. The Wukong, oh, the Wukong is giving Warrior trait to Yone. I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. Is Warrior trait more important than having Guardian trait? I think I'd rather have Guardian trait, but that may be a personal preference. It's not as clear-cut as I might think. I just feel like Wukong doesn't really do a whole lot in these fights. Poor Yone just gets cut through. This person has, and this was another person who has true 2s. What? And apparently they've rolled a 2-star Yone. Oh my god, Grillo not getting lucky in his opponents here. So that person just apparently got a 2-star Yone out of their augment. And yeah, 2-star Yone pretty strong on stage 2 too. So Grillo, as I said, a little bit unlucky in terms of who he's up against here. So he is going to be loss streaking here in the early game, which again is a little bit unfortunate. He also has the 2-item start, so he does not have a completed item yet. Oh, there's the Lee Sin. Okay, he gets double Lee Sins here. Maybe this is the round where his game starts to swing a little bit. So looks like he's going to play Jade for the time being. And let's see if he picks up the Lees. I'm going to assume that he'll pick up the Lees in this store here, but let's see. At some point he's going to, he's going to have to pick up the Lees at some point because he's going to be playing into this unit, as I already know. Let's see. All right, play the Lee Sin, make Karma the Dragonmancer hero, and then he has Kiana, who probably should go in for Wook. Well, if you put Kiana in, he'd lose Jade trait, so that wouldn't make a lot of sense there. All right, so this board looks a little bit better. Now he has Dragonmancer trait in for Karma. So typically if you're going to play this board, you would probably be looking to itemize Karma. The problem is he doesn't have the items to play Karma. He doesn't have anything in the way of AP or mana generation or anything in the way of critical strike chance. That's typically the way that you look to play anything that's Dragonmancer. The Dragonmancer trait, of course, provides additional health and additional ability power to whoever is chosen as the hero. So typically when you play Dragonmancer, ideally you like to get some additional crit stuff. You like to get Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet because that's amplifying the ability power that you are already getting from the trait itself. Anyway, he is first pick on the carousel here, so oh, look at this, there's another Lee Sin on the carousel. I'm assuming he's going to go for that. Alright, so he's going to make that, so that's Lee Sin 2-star, and this is very early to have Lee Sin 2-star. Okay, now I'm starting to see how the game has come together. Grillo got the double Lee Sins in the store, and then he got another Lee Sin on the carousel, so he's going to have super early Lee Sin 2-star, and I suspect that's going to make him, that's why he decided to make Lee Sin into the Dragonmancer hero. And then it's going to be a Dragonmancer game, and it's also going to be a Tempest game to some extent as well, because if you're playing through Lee, those are the key traits you want to emphasize. Now, something that's a little bit unorthodox here is how this Lee Sin is going to be built. He's going to make Lee Sin the Dragonmancer hero. Lee Sin this is not the way that people typically itemize Lee Sin if they're going to be playing this kind of setup. Normally what you would want to do if you're going to be playing Lee Sin as the Dragonmancer hero is you want Infinity Edge Jeweled Gauntlet, and then some kind of healing item for the third item. So often it's IE, Jeweled Gauntlet, and then the third item is like Bloodthirster or Hand of Justice or Gunblade. One of those is typically the way that people play this setup. But instead, Grillo's basically playing through Tank Lee Sin, which is pretty interesting. He does have the Jade statue from Jade trait, so he's going to be getting some innate healing with that. That actually does synergize really well with the Warmogs. The Jade statue gives you a percentage of your max HP health back every second. I believe it's 2% for Jade 3. So because Lee Sin has so much health, and remember, he does get extra health for being the Dragonmancer hero. Because he's getting that extra health there, he's going to be regenerating a little bit more, since it is a trait that works on a percentage basis. So he's got extra health from Warmogs, extra health from being the Dragonmancer hero, and then he's going to heal back. As I said, I think it's 2% of that. I don't have the cheat sheet in front of me. I think he's going to heal back 2% of that each second. All right, well, look at this. Another Lee Sin in the store again. So it looks like he's going to drop Jade and look like he's going to play Dragonmancer instead. So this is one thing Grillo's always been really good at doing. And I want to call that out here. Being flexible, being willing to switch between different units depending on what you're hitting. Grillo's really good at doing this. We'll often say he's playing the board of random nonsense, but then it seems to coalesce into some kind of a team composition. Within, I don't know, by like mid-stage 3, all of a sudden Grillo's got some awesome board. And it's like, oh my god, where did that come from? He's very good at putting these boards together. Also, okay, this person is also lush streaking, so this should be a win as well. And now he's got Dragonmancer 4 in. He's going to be able to, he'll get extra health, he'll get extra ability power, and just going to power up Lee that much more. It's actually really hilarious watching Lee Sin as the carry, the way he's just popping off and kicking these people over and over and over again. So anyway, that was a very successful stage 2. Grillo was able to stabilize on getting the 2-star Lee Sin, making him the Dragonmancer hero, and then looking to play through him as a frontline tank. There's another Lee Sin. Oh my god, he has 5 Lees, and we're still on stage 2. What the heck is this? Okay, that's pretty that's pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting something like that to happen. Anyway, let me go ahead while we have a minion round here. I can actually just cover Lee Sin and his ability, because he is the featured unit in this video. All right, Lee Sin, Dragonmancer, and Tempest is the traits covered before. His ability is called Dragon's Rage, costs 90 mana. Lee Sin kicks his target, stuns them for 1.25 seconds, and knocks them back. The target and all enemies they hit take magic damage. So if I didn't specify that already, Lee Sin does do magic damage, not physical damage. It would be fair to assume that he does physical damage because, you know, that's what he does in normal League of Legends, but no, magic damage. So he kicks people and he stuns them on the kick. He damages the unit he hits and then also units that they get knocked into. Here's another interesting choice. Grillo already had a cloak. He gets another cloak, so he's going to make Dragon's Claw here. So he is going straight with Tank Lee Sin. Again, this is very unusual. This is not how Lee Sin is typically built if he's going to be the Dragonmancer hero. Normally, as I said, it's Infinity Edge, Jeweled Gauntlet, and then a healing item for the third item slot. But no, this is Tank Lee Sin that we're building through here. But this is going to be an insanely tanky Lee Sin for this stage of the game. 2-star Lee with 4 Dragonmancers, so how much health is he getting from that? Again, I've got the cheat sheet here, so I'm just going to pull that up. For Dragonmancer is 575 health and 40 ability power. And then again, as with all Dragonmancer, that increases by 20% per star level of your Dragonmancers. So let's see how many total star levels he has. I'll have to wait for the start of the next round here. But yeah, like, no one can even touch that Lee Sin right now. He's just way too tanky. Also, a lot of people are deliberately lost streaking on their boards here. This person is apparently going to roll it down for Astral units on level 4. Looks like they didn't hit, so I guess they're just going fast 8th place in this game. Anyway, come on, let's go back. Or actually, all of his units are still alive, so I can see. Let's see, he has 2-star Lee, 2-star Karma, and then he has 1-star on the others. So he has 6 total Dragonmancers thus far. Let's see, what's he going to pick here? Ascension would be decent because he has a bit of a stall comp. Gadget Expert, the Static Shiv would not be bad either because that would give the magic debuff. Instead, he's going to take Trade Sector. And there is some sense to that as well because he is doing a bit of a reroll comp here. So there is some logic to that as well. Now, he's found a Graves, but he's also found 2-star Kiana. Is it better to play Graves or is it better to play Kiana? Well, Grillo's going to answer this by just playing both, and I actually really like that. He's on a 4-match win streak. Why not just play both units? It doesn't add any more traits in play. But I do like the fact that he gets, he gets another strong unit in. He gets the Graves in, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, 6 total star levels for Dragonmancer Hero. So that is, you get 20% of the base value for each star level. So 6 times 20%, you get 120% of the base value. So that means he's getting about 1,300 health and about 90 ability power on Lee Sin right now. And then Lee is just super tanky. He also has, so he's got the Warmogs for extra health. He's got the Dragon's Claw, which does give you health regeneration as well. It is, again, a percentage based. I think you get regenerate like 1% of your max HP each round, something like that. So he's regenerating off of that. And yeah, so he actually ends the win streak of somebody who hadn't lost a round yet. So at least for right now, this is working really nicely. That said, it will fall off in time because he just doesn't actually have that much damage capability. If Lee Sin doesn't have stuff that increases his AP, if he doesn't have, Jeweled Gauntlet plus other AP-based crit stuff, this will fall off eventually because other people's boards are going to get very tanky. Wow, look at that. Another person's win streak comes to an end there in an insanely close fight. So that's good for Grillo that he's getting these close victories. And hey, he's going to get some more Dragonmancers. Obviously, it would be awesome if he could 3-star some of these, although it's going to be hard to 3-star the 1 cost because he's already level 6. But he's actually in pretty good shape to try to 3-star like Kaisa and maybe Kiana if he chooses to keep Kiana in the team comp. We'll see what he does. And of course, Lee Sin. Probably want to get to level 7 and roll on 7 because that's where the best odds are to find Lee. Also good odds to find Volibear, the other 3-cost Dragonmancer. And he'd have at least 1% odds to find Yasuo. Finding even one Yasuo would be really nice for this comp because that would give him another unit that's not Lee Sin to play through. Anyway, so far though, Lee is just doing his thing. He's kicking people. He's tanking for the rest of the team and just kind of soaking up damage so that the other units can do their particular damage. And pretty much just kicking people in the back lines over and over and over again. Graves is actually doing quite a bit as well, even though he has no items and just has the Tempest trait in place. Graves is just a good unit overall, so kicking in some extra damage. Kiana did a fair amount of damage too. I guess she got off a nice stun on the back lines there. So on we go. This is a 6-match win streak. As I said, I do think that this gets outscaled long term, but we'll have to see what happens. Maybe if he 3-stars the Lee Sin. I would definitely be looking for a glove here, if at all possible, to try to make a Jeweled Gauntlet for that 3rd item. He doesn't need healing because he already has healing from Celestial Blessing, but both of the gloves get taken. That's a little bit disappointing. So let's see. He's going to take... All right, Grillo is sticking with the tank setup. He's going to take a vest here. Is he going to go for Warmogs plus Dragon's Claw plus Bramble Vest? That is like the most insane tank setup you can possibly get. It would make Lee unbelievably tanky, but it would also mean that he is not going to have much of a damage profile overall. I'm also curious if he's going to try to run to level 7 here. He could definitely get to 7 here if he pushes. I'm not sure that he really has another unit to play, though, so maybe he'll just sit on the money. Again, I haven't watched this. But wow, look at all these people going level 7. This is an aggressive econ lobby. A lot of people have just been playing complete nonsense boards in the hopes of pushing econ as fast as possible and getting up to level 7. You definitely run into people playing stronger boards as you move up the ladder, and I think most of the people in this game are in Masters because, as I said, I think Grillo was Diamond 1 or like High Diamond 2 when he played this game. All right, well, once again, Lee just continuing to kick the front lines. Kiana's doing good work in the back lines there. But notice that Lee is starting to fall off a little bit. Like, he is just not totally unkillable. He is taking some damage in this fight. Now, I don't think that's going to be enough for the other player to win. I think Grillo's win streak will continue. Let's see if he can win another round. It's actually very important to see if he can win the next round and see if he can run out to get this full win streak to continue into the minion round. It would be worth an awful lot of gold. He's also definitely looking for another Tempest unit. What Tempest unit is he missing right now? I'm not sure. Actually, I'll just look on the cheat sheet here. By the way, note that Grillo goes to level 7, and then he'll use his reroll here, which makes sense because you want to roll at a higher... He wanted to use the reroll at level 7, not level 6, hoping to find more Lee Sins. All right, in terms of Tempest units, what is he still missing here? Oh, he needs Ezreal. He needs Ezreal for 4 Tempest. That's probably the other unit that he's looking to find, but I don't think he's come across an Ezreal recently. And instead, he opts to play a a Diana for Assassin trait, which does make sense. All right, well, look at this. This person also has a really tanky setup, but oh, the kick. Just going to kick the Graves into the... Not the Graves, the Silas into the back lines there. This is one of the more annoying things that Lee Sin can do in this set, is if you're playing like a solo frontliner, and then Lee kicks your tank out of the way, then suddenly the other team can just like walk right in on your back line, which often is not what you want to have in the fight. So like, yeah, that Silas is unbelievably tanky, but like because Lee kicked him out of the way, the rest of Grillo's team is just able to murder everything, and then he's able to win the round in overtime. Healing is reduced in overtime, so he's able to finish off that unit there in the extra time. And oh my god, the 1% odds Yasuo. All right, well, that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Now he has another unit to play through, so now he can start itemizing Yasuo as well. There's still the question, and he also has the option now to play 6 Dragonmancer. He just has to find Volibear, and he can play 6 Dragonmancer. So that is a huge find at 1% odds. Out of all the legendary units to find, that was the most important one. Looks like he's also giving up on 3-starring Karma. I think that's the right decision. Just not going to find the 1-cost units at this stage of the game. And what else are we going to see? Oh, it's another vest. He's actually got double vest here. Is this going to be Bramble? Is it going to be Gargoyle's Stoneplate? Either one would make sense. I actually think the Bramble would probably make the most sense here. Let's see. And there's Volley, so he can play 6 Dragonmancer here if he wants. I'm assuming that he does want to play that, even though it'll mean dropping Tempest. But he can take out... I guess he could take out the Graves and the Diana for right now. That would probably make the most sense. Let's see. Is it going to be the Bramble? No, it's going to be Gargoyle Stoneplate. I actually think that the Bramble would have made more sense there. I know that people will group up on Lee because he's solo front line, but I actually think that having Bramble, when you already have Dragon's Claw and Warmogs, I actually think the Bramble makes a lot of sense. Oh well, that's not a bad choice either. It is, again, going to make Lee Sin very tanky, but he's not going to, as I've said before, he's not going to have much of a damage profile. Now Grillo really needs to start finding items for Yasuo. That is the other unit he needs to get, because that way he can have a carry that's not just the Lee Sin. So Lee will really be more of a tank than a damage dealer. I mean, he's still going to do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. But now you can rely on Lee to just stand up there and be unkillable, and then Yasuo to actually do the carry the damage load for the rest of the team. These kicks are pretty hilarious. Yeah, I'm expecting him to play 6 Dragonmancer here. I guess we'll find out. I was surprised that he kept some of these units in, like the Diana. Probably don't need the Diana here. All right, let's see what this last augment is going to be. And oh, it's Eye of the Storm. This is the perfect choice. The unit in the center of the board gains 45 ability power, increased to 135 after Tempest Lightning strikes. So yes, I did already know he was going to get this for the last augment, but didn't want to spoil it. So this is literally the perfect augment for him to find here. So Eye of the Storm is a unique augment. It applies only to Tempest units. The Tempest unit that you place right there in the center of the board gets 45 ability power to start the fight, and then after the Tempest Lightning strikes, they get 135. I'm actually surprised Grillo is leveling here. I thought he would try to reroll and try to 3-star Lee. I'm a little surprised he's looking to level here, but he is going to go up and play 6 Dragonmancer, so that's not crazy. Just going to be slightly more difficult to find Lee, but I guess it's not going to be that much harder. He does have better odds to find the other unit that he definitely wants to find, which is the Alshin, because Alshin can get him up to 6 Tempest. Anyway, so yeah, now Lee is going to be... I don't know how much ability power. He must be getting like 100-ish from... No, he's 6 Dragonmancer. Never mind. So how much ability power is he getting from this? 6 Dragonmancer is base, 775 health, and 50 ability power. And then he has like 7 or 8 star levels of his Dragonmancers. So that increases it by like 160% roughly. So that's like 1.5 or 2.5 times that. So that's like, I don't know, 15, no, like that's almost 2,000 health and about 120 ability power. Then he gets 135 ability power from his Tempest, from his Eye of the Storm there. So he's getting an awful lot of health and an awful lot of ability power there. So Lee's kicks are definitely being powered up. Again, that's why you generally would want to build IE Jeweled Gauntlet. He did also finally lose a round there, so you can see his board is falling off a little bit here. And he's going to need to 3-star some of these units or find more Yasuos if this build is going to continue onwards. So yeah, did finally lose a round. Win streak came to an end. Grillo is being patient here, has a lot of health. He does not need to go crazy re-rolling. He also did hit 2-star Kaisa, 2-star Volibear, so now he has, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. He now has 10 star levels of Dragonmancer, so he gets 200% of the base value on his Dragonmancer stuff. Yeah, 385% ability power. I saw that there. The base damage for Lee Sin's ability... Boy, I've been using the cheat sheet a lot for this video. The base damage for Lee Sin's ability is 285 at 2-star. 285 damage. So he's almost 400% ability power, so he's getting like roughly 4 times that. So he's around like 1,000 damage now for his kick. Once again, you saw it just wasn't enough damage. His build board is falling off here if he can't manage to get some more damage profile or manage to 3-star the Lee Sin. It's going to have to be one or the other of these. Is actually 3rd pick here because he lost the last 2 rounds. Let's see what he goes for. I'm assuming he wants a Yasuo item. Could always take the glove here for Hand of Justice. That would not be terrible. Or he could take the sword for Edge of Night. That would be really good too. All right, looks like it's probably going to be the sword for Edge of Night. Gives the aggression drop. I'm assuming that this is for Yasuo. I guess we'll wait and see. But if that's what the sword is for, then that's a pretty good item choice for Yasuo. All right, let's see. As I said, I have not watched the whole video. Also going to get another Kiana here. So let's see. Getting pretty close to Kiana 3-star. Now, Kiana is not a Dragonmancer, so does not boost the Dragonmancer hero, but he is 1 off there. Let's see. Does he want the Kaisa? I'm assuming he's rolling to try to hit the last one here, or just roll for more Lees. There's also a Bard there. That might be interesting to play. I would probably play Bard over Graves here, just because Graves is not doing a whole lot with the 3 Tempest. No, it's okay, interesting. Opted to play that over the Kiana. Yeah, okay. As I said, I would have probably played it over the Graves, but Graves is innately a better unit than Kiana, that's for sure. Still, one of them's 2-star and one of them's 1-star, so makes it a harder decision on which one to play. Some of these people are definitely moving into Dragon board. So, like, look at this person. They've got a 2-star Shyvana there. I mean, I don't think Lee's going to win against this. Not against a 2-star Shyvana with all this. I have no idea how this person managed to get 2-star Shyvana on level 7. I have no idea how they managed to pull that off. They do not have high-end shopping or anything like that. But, yeah, somehow they have 2-star Shyvana, 2-star Zaya, 2-star Hecarim, and they're level 7, which is a real questionable, real questionable how they managed to pull that off. So, as I said, the board is just falling off right now, and definitely needs to do something to get, like I said, probably needs another carry more than anything else. Also would be real nice. There's finally another Lee Sin. You know, Grillo had 5 Lee Sins at the end of Stage 2, and they didn't find another Lee Sin until now at the end of Stage 4. Probably needs to stop here and just wait and roll after Treasure Dragon. But, yeah, last couple rounds not going too well. As I said, this team does fall off because Lee has nothing to amplify his damage. He's very tanky, but has nothing to actually make him stronger in terms of damage. And outside of him, no one really is doing any damage on the team. So, yeah, just not a great fit there as far as how the team's going. But we'll see. This board will get stronger in time, even though this Zaya comp is kind of ripping through his board right now. So, time is starting to run out, down to 39 HP. Gonna have to find something here on Treasure Dragon. And spoiler alert, because I'm recording this video, you know that Grillo's gonna find something here. I'm actually interested to see what he actually gets here, because he's gonna have to turn this game around soonish, or he's gonna be out of the lobby. All right, let's see what he chooses to find. There's a chalice. Oh, there's a chalice. There's a oh, I actually would have taken that. That was Chalice, Bloodthirster, and then a Bloodthirster for Yasuo. That sounded pretty good. What else? What is he looking for here? So, item remover. That could be Hand of Justice. Wow, rolling a lot of gold. This is more than I roll. I usually do not roll that much. That could have been Hand of Justice IE on Yasuo. Wow. Rolling an awful lot of gold here, Grillo. What are you looking for? Yeah, I rarely roll more than like 3 or 4 times. Well, geez, okay. That's Hodge for Yasuo, but I think there were some pretty good options there as well. Let's see what he actually does here. So there's another Graves, that's not bad. And there, what else do you want? There's, I guess, like a Morello's potential, although I'm not sure that that's that great. Another Warmogs, maybe? Let's see. I mean, there's like an Archangel's. I'm a little surprised that that's the Treasure Dragon that Grillo went for. Again, we all choose things differently. Grillo is honestly a better player at this game than me, so I probably shouldn't be criticizing too much. But I was a little surprised by those choices. Ended up rolling quite a bit of gold there. All right, so gonna make... What are we gonna do here? Trying to figure this out. I think there were some good options that got cycled through. All right, gonna make the Warmonks. That is gonna make a much tankier Yasuo, and then also has an Archangel staff for someone. I don't know that he has a particularly good user. Maybe the Volibear, I guess. Obviously, you would prefer to put this on like an Ao Shin if you could find Ao Shin. That would probably be the best person to put it on, but not easy to find Ao Shin even at level 8. I don't think Yasuo can kill all these. So yeah, down to 24 HP. 5-match losing streak here. So this board has fallen off quite a bit. It really needs to find more Lee Sins or something along those lines. There's a Lee. Okay, so that's nice. There's another Lee. Okay, well, got to sell something for that. Are we going to give up on Kiana 3-star? No, we need to hold Kiana. Oh, I see. Just putting another one on the board over Bard. That makes sense. And can you finally... Oh, it's the God Shop. Okay. So after all those rounds of not finding Lee, now he hits the 3-star Lee Sin. That is huge. Needed to hit that unit super, super badly in order to stabilize. So that is great news to be able to hit that. And now we're going to toss the Archangel Staff on Volibear. All right, so now that it's a 3-star Lee Sin, that is what is going to swing this, because Lee gets way tankier. He gets all those additional base stats for being a 3-star unit. Damage goes up by quite a bit. It's 285 on the kick at 2-star, 385 at 3-star. So that's an increase of almost 50% to the base damage. So Lee is going to be much harder to kill, and his ability, his kicks are going to heal for much, much more. Remember, he also heals for a percentage of his max HP with that Dragon's Claw. And is Lee going to be able to kill everything here? I don't know that this team can actually hurt him because he's got the Dragon's Claw, which is really, really good against the magic damage that Sohm does. So yeah, he's just going to slowly kill everything on the board, isn't he? Yeah, wow, okay. Lee Sin does 10,000 damage and kills the whole team. That was hilarious. So that was the difference. And wow, another Yasuo. That's pretty nice too. That is very nice. Unfortunately, Aurelian Soul. Wish that were the Ao Shin instead. That would have been nice. Also getting a lot of Bards, but he can't really play Bard in this team composition, unfortunately. So yeah, if I have one thing to say for Grillo, I do think it would have made more sense to stay at level 7 and roll for, try to get 3-star Lee at level 7. Just because the odds are better there and you don't have to sink the 50 gold, or I think, what is it? It's like 56 gold to get to level 8. I think staying at level 7 until 3-starring Lee would have been a little bit more consistent and probably would have hit Lee Sin a little bit earlier as opposed to going to level 8. I just don't think going to level 8 really did a whole lot for this board because you already had the 1% odds Yasuo. I'm not sure that going to 8 really did all that much. Got to play another unit, but I think hitting 3-star Lee would have been a little bit safer and more consistent, because clearly 3-star Lee was the thing that this board needed. Hitting the 3-star Lee has completely flipped the math of these fights, although it's unfortunate that Lee decided to run over there and kick the Braum instead of going after the Deja. But oh, it's close. Looks like Yasuo and Volibear just barely managed to finish that one off. So, whew, that's lucky. All right, and oh, it's a Dragon Carousel. Is there an Ao Shin here? There is an Ao Shin here. So Grillo's got to take that. That will allow him to go up to 6 Tempest. And that's going to be better than anything else he can get. Plus, Ao Shin will now become a threat in his own right. Especially if he can get like a Shojin or some kind of additional mana generation for the Ao Shin. But even if not, just going up to 6 Tempest is a very big deal. Even if he has to cut some Dragonmancer. So he probably has to cut down to 4 Dragonmancer, but he can go up to 6 Tempest, which is very much worthwhile. You can just cut the Set and the Karma, who are not really doing a whole lot, and just play Ao Shin over them. Let's see, I'm assuming those, yeah. We are thinking along the same lines here. So he's going to cut those 2 units. And then now he's basically just rolling for Yasuo. Or more Ao Shins. More Ao Shins would be awesome. There's another Volibear. Still sitting... Oh, there now 8 Volibears. Still sitting on 8 Kianas as well. Well, anyway, let's cover what Tempest does then, since now that he's just hit 6 Tempest. This is a trait that is very rare for people to play heavily into this trait. Normally people just play 2 Tempest or maybe 4 Tempest if they have the Ao Shin, but it's very rare that you see people hitting 6 Tempest, which is what Grillo has here. So we'll read the official description again. Tempest, after 8 seconds, lightning strikes the battlefield. Enemies are stunned for 1 second. Take a percent of their max health as true damage. Then Tempest champions deal increased damage. At Tempest 6, the lightning damage is 25% of enemies' maximum health. So that's pretty significant. And for the Tempest units, it's 60% additional damage. So in addition to all those other modifiers that Lee Sin is getting, remember he gets additional damage from the Dragonmancer trait, he gets additional damage from being the Eye of the Storm unit, and by the way, there's Volibear 3-star, so that's pretty awesome. So he gets, again, AP from the Dragonmancer trait, he gets AP from Eye of the Storm. Now he also gets from Tempest trait, he gets the 60% increased damage. Thank you, Pasquillo, for highlighting that. That's very convenient. So everything has really come together on this board. It was looking pretty dire at the end of Stage 4. Honestly, if this had not been a game that I knew was going to go well, I would have thought he would be out of the lobby in another round or two. But he hit the 3-star Lee, which was absolutely huge. And then he had Eye of the Storm Augment, which was also really big. Without Eye of the Storm Augment, this board would not be working very as well as it is. And then also managed to get the Al Shin for Tempest 6. So yeah, after that lightning strike goes off, Lee does just an absolute metric ton of damage. He's actually beating the 3-star Zippy here, which is pretty insane. Oh my goodness. Just walking up and kicking people in the face. Imagine if he had a jeweled gauntlet and an Infinity Edge here. Obviously it wouldn't be as tanky, but he would just one-shot the whole board. And hey, there we go. There's 3-star Kiana as well. Finally, sitting on at how many Kianas? He was sitting on 8 Kianas for ages and ages. So this board's pretty much set. Just need to find one more Yasuo and find find 2 more Alshins. I'm a little surprised he hasn't found more Alshins. A little bit unlucky not to have found at least one more, but thankfully it was a all-dragon carousel for the Stage 5 carousel. Now this item, the Hurricane, is not really going to do a whole lot. Not really anyone on the team who can make good use of that. Oh, there's a champion duplicator. Oh, hello. So that's fantastic. That means either Yasuo 2-star, or if you could find another Al Shin, that would be even better. Can he find one of them? You have to Nico, it's the champion duplicator. It used to be called Nico's Help. You're going to have to use it on the Yasuo if he doesn't find one of them, though. Have to use it on them. All right, didn't find that, so got to use it on the Yasuo to make Yasuo 2-star. That's another. So some definite RNG factors in this game. Hitting Eye of the Storm Augment, which was perfect. Hitting the Lee when it looked like he was about to go out of the lobby, hitting the Al Shin on the carousel, hitting a Yasuo at 1% odds, and then getting a champion duplicator. He's actually only found, well, no, I was going to say he's only found one, but he's found a 1% odd Yasuo and a champion duplicator. So I'd say that's maybe a little bit lucky in this game, but we all have our high roll moments, and this is kind of a high roll game here. Just to make this board like kind of come together in a way that makes sense. Oh, by the way, Al Shin finally gets to cast. Al Shin has not been casting in any of these fights. Grillo included this in his notes for the game. He said that Al Shin was basically just a trait bot in a lot of these fights because he really was not getting his cast off very often at all. All right, so now it's down to just 3 players in this lobby, and oh, that's not good. That's not good. One of these players has a Zephyr, so that is not what you want to see. Oh wow, 3 people actually went out of the lobby simultaneously. Yikes. That poor guy got knocked out in 6th place as 3 people go out. But yeah, anyway, this player has a Zephyr, and this is the one weakness of Eye of the Storm. The Eye of the Storm, you cannot move your unit if you want to get the Eye of the Storm benefit. So Grillo cannot move out of this slot. He's going to just have to eat the Zephyr, and there's nothing he can do about that. Although, actually, he could have moved a unit up to eat the Zephyr because that person did not have the Silas in the correct location. They're actually one off the correct tile. But yeah, so he just has to rely on the Lee Sin coming down off the Zephyr. And oh my god, the damage on that kick. Lee just deleted the whole back line. All right, so where are these kicks going to go? Can he kick units into the back line? There goes the Silas. Now it's just the Yasuo and just the Yasuo and the Lee Sin show. Absolutely just beasting people with these kicks. And I think that he knocked the Zephyr player out of the lobby. No, he still has the Zephyr player in the lobby. Grillo should move a unit up at the last second to eat that Zephyr because the Zephyr is actually mispositioned. The Vlad is in the position to get the perfect, to actually Zephyr the Eye of the Storm tile. He could take a unit he doesn't care about like Kaisa and move up to the left of Lee. And I think that that would eat the Zephyr. Maybe I'm misreading this though. I think I think that's actually mispositioned though. Well, anyway, just down to 1 player with 8 HP. Lee is just annihilating people in these fights. And the Yasuo, now that he is 2-starred and has the Edge of Night plus Hand of Justice, is really strong in his own right. So Lee, do your thing, kick people. He's going to kick the Silas. Needs to go after the back line if he wants to win this fight. All right, over there on the tank Vladimir with double Zerat portals. And anyway, still it's down to the Lee Sin and the Yasuo once again. Finally kills the Zerat minions. Can he go after the Lux? Oh, Lux gets chopped down. Looks like he's got this. I don't think anything can kill the Lee Sin. Just way too tanky, way too much ability power. And that's going to do it. GG. So that is a very, very weird, very bizarre game that's going to turn into a first place here on the part of JDP El Grillo. So I'm glad that he shared this one with him. Now the video is going to cut out here, so I will just put a static screen here of the finishing screen so we can think a little bit about this game. A very unusual game. 3-star tank Lee Sin playing through Tempest trait and Dragonmancer. I mean, those are literally his 2 traits. So just build a whole team around those 2 traits. And apparently it worked out. I was a little dicey there for a while, but once all the units were 3-starred and he was able to get the Ao in for 6 Tempest, that made all the difference. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks as well to Grillo for sharing this with me. It was an entertaining game to cast. Until next time, take care, folks. See you again soon.